Sometimes in Christian spaces, particularly, we can make it difficult and uncomfortable for people to vent, to express themselves when they've been hurt, when they've been offended by somebody within the church. I've been guilty of this. When people would tell me that when people would tell me they're offended, I would state the obvious and tell them, "You're just offended. You need to get over it." And I've treated people who were offended as if they were a cancer until I got offended. Until I got offended. And then I realized I didn't want to be treated like that. I didn't want people to alienate me because I was offended, because I was hurt, because I had a wound in my heart from somebody within the same space that I was dwelling. In a sense, sometimes when you're offended in Christian spaces, you get canceled. It's happened to me. I've seen it happen to other people. You get canceled. Nobody wants to rock with you. Nobody wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to reach out to you. Nobody wants to talk about it. You're kind of left to deal with your emotions and the sting all by yourself, and you just have to eventually get over it. But I don't believe that's the way to handle things, and I don't think that that's how Jesus would handle people who are offended. In moments of vulnerability, when I was hurt, what I needed was love. What I needed was compassion. What I needed was kindness and gentleness. I needed community. I needed understanding. I needed patience, and I needed grace. When people are hurt or offended, they're fragile. And the last thing they need is for somebody pointing their religious finger in their face, stating the obvious, saying, "You're just offended and you need to get over it." People like that, in my opinion, lack empathy. I was that person. I lacked empathy. And I didn't allow God to use me in those moments to help somebody come out of or process and work through their offense. In that moment, I failed to understand the heart of God, and I missed an opportunity to allow God to use me to impact someone in a positive way who's hurt or offended. I think about how many people who have left church offended would have stayed if they simply had somebody there for them, not to state the obvious, but to be their friend. I'm thinking, and something that God's been showing me is that there is tremendous power when we shut up and listen to other people when they're speaking, not speaking to respond, but not listening to respond, but listening to understand. We need to stop telling people that they're just hurt and they need to get over it. It's like, yeah, well, for starters, I'm trying to get over it, but there's no closure. There's no clarity. I can forgive you by faith, but the sting is still there. I'm the type of person now who needs to talk things out. I used to be the type of person who would sweep things under the rug and go about my day holding on to this bitterness and developing this passive aggressive behavior, which is unhealthy. So, I mean, God's been working on me. He's been working on my heart, and I'm not that person anymore. So my process of healing is different. I like to talk things out. I like to bring things up, and lay them on the table. And I like to work through my issues, work through my traumas, work through the hurt, the pain, and I guess be more practical and talk about it. You know what I mean? Obviously, when the other party refuses to want to engage in those type of conversations, then you have to set those healthy boundaries and not apologize for them.